Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jesse. Tonight we're going to do an unboxing of the DG-335 from Epiphone. That's right, the Dave Grohl signature guitar that came out this year. Really excited about it. First things first, I'm going to talk about some of the changes. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. Lots gone on in my life. I started a family, moved house, bought a few more guitars, as you could probably see. And yeah, so this is my new space. This is my office slash spare bedroom. And yeah, I don't know. I just maybe want to talk about what's gone on in the last couple of years. Like I said, I bought a couple of new guitars. The last unboxing video was for that Schecter Diamond Series Solo 2 Custom, which I love. I still play it all the time. That is my go-to guitar for a lot of stuff. And I talked in the past about how much I like Schecter. I got another Schecter, which is I don't even remember what it's called. It's also a Diamond Series. It's Sunset Valley something or other, right? It's like a shred guitar. It's like a custom Strat, but with a couple extra bells and whistles. It's got a Sustainiac bridge on it, or a Sustainiac neck pickup, I mean, and it's got the floating Floyd Rose tremolo. Sorry, I'm trying to do this all in one take. This is an unboxing video, so I want you guys to get my raw reactions from the guitar. So yeah, I got that. I got a Taylor acoustic electric, which I also really like. Used it for recording, and about almost 2 years ago now, my wife was very kind to offer to go halvesies with me on a Tom Morello signature Fender guitar. And I've got that here. Kind of wish I'd done an unboxing for this. It's very pretty, and it's got a lot of cool things. It's got his kill switch toggle on it. It's got a Seymour Duncan blade humbucker in a single coil space for the bridge pickup. I mean, Floyd Rose for dive bombs and stuff like that. Locking Fender tuners, which is really cool. That mirrored pick guard that is not so shiny right now because I play the crap out of this thing too. I write a lot of songs on this. Anyway, that isn't the guitar that you came here for. Want to maybe talk a little bit about why I like to buy different guitars, because I think people see like, oh, I've got all these guitars, you must have tons of money, or you must be uninspired, or whatever, and you just like to buy gear. And it's like, well, who doesn't like something shiny and new, first of all? So I feel like maybe we're making weird accusations saying that. Maybe your thing is shoes, or maybe you like to go out to expensive meals, or whatever it is. But I like to collect a new guitar every so often. But man, I don't have anywhere near as many as some of the guys I know. So I know a lot of guitarists. When you become a guitarist, you meet everybody who thinks they're a guitarist, and some people who are way better than you, who are the real people who like you aspire to be. And a lot of those guys only have 2 or 3 guitars. So like, the amount of guitars you have has nothing to do with how good you are, nor will it make you any better. But one thing I will say is getting a new piece of gear, but especially like a guitar, feels different. Maybe smells different, because it's brand new. It's just straight out the box, and your case is brand new, and it brings something out in you. It makes you, well, I mean, for lack of a better term, inspired. You think of things that you might not have thought of otherwise to play, and it doesn't mean that you're uninspired without it, right? But I think just having that little extra juice is really nice. And obviously things sound different, right? You know, having a guitar that has active EMGs in it, like my old Schecter, man, that thing wails on a high gain amp, and you play it loud and it's articulate and it's tight sounding, like you can just chug, you know, I've got it tuned to drop C, and it chugs and it shreds. It's such a great metal guitar. And it's not like I can't do that stuff on the other guitars, but that just sings when I do that. And then the Solo 2 Custom, it's a great all-around guitar. Like, if I was going to take one of my guitars to the studio, it would be that one. I mean, maybe it'll be the DG-335. I don't know. I haven't unboxed it yet. But, you know, for right now, that's my guitar. It's got, you know, 2 humbuckers, but I can split both the coils. So I get, like, that cool Les Paul tone. I think it's very close to, like, a kind of high output Les Paul pickups. And you split the coils, and it sounds like a classic Telecaster. And it's got that scale length that's similar to a Les Paul or Telecaster. And it's got the locking tuners, and it's just, I put the Switchcraft toggle in it once I started to like have some trouble with the toggle switch early on. I only had it for about 6 months, and that toggle switch started like coughing out on me, and I was like, okay, switched that out. It was a pretty cheap job. I just bought a couple of soldering things and borrowed my friend's soldering gun and bought the Switchcraft toggle switch. And I think altogether it was like $50. And toggle switch hasn't given me a problem since. Sounds great. And man, it just plays great. It's buttery smooth. Has the bends like a Les Paul. Like, it's, you know, I've said it time and time again. Schecters are some of the best guitars for the money. The reason I'm so excited about today's unboxing is that I also think that Epiphones are great for the money as well. Some stuff in there like $400 to $600 range is amazing. Talking about like stuff that feels like $1,200 guitars easy. Now this is a $1,200, actually $1,300 after tax and all that dollar guitar. So I'm expecting big things. Like, I hope it's not just the name that's making this the price that it is. I want to see some exceptional features, and I'd like to see that very consistent Epiphone fit and finish that I'm used to. Now, I've not owned any Epiphones myself, but I've played on several, and I've had a bunch of friends who've owned them, and you know, they tell me all good things. You know, obviously I've had friends that have played them stock, but I've also modded them, and they tell me, you know, hey, I opened this thing up, it looks really good on the inside too. Like, they just have really good quality control at Epiphone, and so I'm hoping I see that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think maybe we should just dive into it. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. My trusty box cutter here. Now, this got shipped just last week from Sweetwater. I allowed it a couple of days. I want to also mention my wife fully funded the purchase of this one for a birthday present. So thank you, honey. And yeah, so this is another one from Sweetwater. I get a lot of stuff from them. I've gotten all the guitars that I had told you about, except for the Taylor. I bought that at a local shop, but the other guitars I was talking about, got them all from Sweetwater too. But yeah, let's dig into it. The Dave Grohl 335 from Epiphone. I've been looking forward to this guitar since he had his signature model through Gibson. The thing I like about Sweetwater is they do the inspections, 55-point inspections, and they send you all sorts of pictures via email of your actual guitar, the serial number of your actual guitar. Send you this little bag of candy, as always. Oh, they branched out. They got a bit of honey in here. Tootsie Rolls and the Fruit Chews by Tootsie Roll. It says Happy Gear Day. Another Sweetwater sticker. God, I've got so many of these, don't I? And this is just some stuff about like how to get in touch with them if there's any issues, signing up for warranties, all that jazz. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this stuff out of the way. Lots of foam packaging, which is always good to see. Make sure that my guitar gets here in one piece. So this is the big box from Sweetwater, but it's got the smaller box inside from Epiphone. Oh, and by the way, this came with a case, which was great because I did not want to have to buy a 335 case. This big box. Yeah. Oh, watch the struggle. There it is. Ta-da. Now, we've gotten that out of the way. Get the old trusty knife again. Quite a lot less packaging in this because it's actually got a case inside it. Which is, looks like a Tolex case. That's cool. Very classic. Classic Epiphone styling. Alright. Another box to the side. Alright. So this case, it's got lots of latches. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I guess it's not an unusual number of latches. The latch on the back is a new thing for me. As usual, Sweetwater packaged everything very tidy and tight. You know, I gotta say, being that it was this is a semi-hollow, I thought it was gonna seem bigger. I mean, I don't know, I've always just played like regular solid bodies. Got a couple of arch tops. The arch tops feel bigger, but they're really just wider. Like the body is thicker in profile, but I don't know. It's not that big. It's just kind of, as you can see, it's got the Dave Grohl signature on the top here, which is, I don't know how I feel about that. Am I gonna take this case gigging? People are gonna be like, oh, look at this guy with his fucking DG-335. He thinks he's hot shit because he's got a Dave Grohl guitar. I don't think that. I don't think I'm Dave Grohl. So maybe I should talk about the reason that I wanted this guitar so bad. Dave Grohl is one of the greatest rock stars of our generation. Well, he's a generation ahead of me, but like I grew up listening to his music, Nirvana and Foo Fighters especially. But like he's drummed for tons of different bands, right? Queens of the Stone Age comes to mind immediately. The guy's a hell of a songwriter, hell of a musician. I love the way his, signature guitar looks. I love how it sounds. I love his sound. I'm just, why not have a little piece of the guy's songwriting ability right here? It's a very small piece, mind you. And, nothing I make is going to sound like him, but, it's the taste. He's definitely influenced my style. So, these latches are pretty nice, pretty sturdy. This case is, it's not like the Schecter case that I bought separately for my Solo 2 Custom. That thing is beefy, it's hard, it's thick. The gap between the exterior and the interior is like 1.5 inches. It's very sturdy. Like you could drop it down a flight of stairs, I think my guitar would be okay. This one, it's not that sturdy, but this came with the guitar. So, probably save myself $100 there at least. Now, I'm gonna open it. We're gonna see. Hopefully, get a good look at this. All right, here goes. It's gonna have stuff, plastic and stuff on it probably, but oh no, they just put a little foam thing here on the toggle. Oh, well. Okay. So yeah, pretty much what I expected from this kind of bag, or hard shell case, I should say. Which is to say, there's not much in the way of padding. There's a little bit right here where it goes over the bridge and the electronics. And there's a little bit right here where it like hugs the neck into this part that's like your storage, which of course there is stuff in here. It's an Epiphone sticker, a couple Epiphone stickers, several Epiphone stickers. They really want you to rep them. Free advertising, right? Key for the case. And yeah, there's like this little support thing underneath, because the thing about these set necks is there's always a little bit of an angle on them, so they wanted to sit in the case properly. I gotta say, oh yeah, that's right. Also got, hey, look at that. The first inspector is also named Jesse. Cool. Yeah, so this is the 55-point inspection they talk about. They always have somebody sign off on it. That way they know who's responsible if something goes wrong. Been polished and tuned, and now we're going to see how well that was done. I gotta say, just looking at this right now, as it's in the case, it looks good. It looks like there's a bit of a polish on the frets. Pickups are set pretty much exactly the same height, which is to say, kind of high. You got this little foam thing on the toggle switch. It's got standard 10s on it, I believe. All right, let's take it out, see how this thing looks. So of course, again, it's got the Dave Grohl signature on the back there. Standard Grover tuners, which I got no problem with. Man, this thing is, it's a little bit lighter than my Solo 2 Custom, I think. Maybe like a couple ounces, I would say. I think that thing's like 8.5 pounds. It's kind of heavy, not gonna lie. This is a little bit lighter. So just looking at this now. Well, here, let's start at the top and work our way down, right? Headstock. It's got this shiny black finish over the top of it. As far as I can tell, there is not a single blemish on it. Now, the Epiphone logo that goes across, I don't know how crisp that usually is. Like I said, I don't own one. I don't look at one like all the time. It looks to me like it's some kind of a decal that they then do like a clear coat over or something. And I don't know. It's pretty crisp. Well, like not super crisp. Like it looks like it could be crisper. But then again, we're talking about a relatively cheap guitar for a signature guitar, right? Because I said this is like $1,300, a little bit less after tax. That's pretty cheap for a signature guitar when you think about it. And the reason I was so excited about this is because they already came out with a Gibson version of it, and that was just too expensive, man. I'm not spending whatever $2,600 it was, or it was a lot. And like on the used market, they're more. They're like $3,500. And like I said, you know, I love Dave Grohl, love his music. I wanted to have a piece of that in my arsenal. So anyway, I'm looking at the top, so you know I said I was gonna work my way down, right? So I've got this Graphtec nut, and man, it's very precisely machined, fits on the neck very well. Not seeing any like chips in the finish or any like irregularities in the sanding. Everything's very smooth. It says handcrafted in China. That's probably why it's so cheap. Binding on the neck seems very consistent all the way down. The frets. Now this is kind of where some of my concern was, right? Because when you have a guitar that's made cheaply, one of the places that tends to falter a little bit is the frets. Good fretwork is hard to come by. Sorry, there's like a little bit of fuzz in this fret. But man, I'm looking at it now, and like, I'm not gonna know until I start playing it, right? But the frets look pretty good. There's not like ball ends super smooth on the sides, but if I run my hand across it, I feel every fret, and it feels pointy-ish, but not sharp. I'm not going to cut myself on this. I can do this all day. Both sides. So that's pretty good. It's better than my Tom Morello signature guitar. The fretwork on that is not great. I gotta be honest. It seems like a standard fretboard neck combo. Other than the hardware up at the nut because of the the locking tuners and the Floyd Rose and all that, that neck is not great. Kind of the main reason that I don't know that I'm going to use it much for recording. But the fretwork on this is actually looks really good. I'm going to have to see how it plays. I will do demo videos in the future. The bridge is set kind of high, it seems. A little bit more so on the bass side. I wonder if that was intentional, because the pickup is also set high on the bass side. I wonder if they did that to eliminate buzz. I wonder if there was a buzz problem. We're going to see once I start doing my own stuff. Oh yeah, so the inside of it, you can see it says Dave Grohl 335. Let's see, make it see it. It's visible there. And it says the serial number. You can see in the cavity over here the electronics for the toggle and the tones and volumes. So yeah, I've got 2 volumes, 2 tones. I'm going to take the foam thing off the toggle here. Apparently it's got the Switchcraft toggle. Sure enough, it's the exact same toggle switch that I've got in that one, I think. So that's cool. Kind of odd choice. It's got a white cap, but, you know, probably good for visibility. I like the placement of it, because it's not near my hand like it is on a Strat, where it's going to get in the way. It's got the front load for the input there. I can't tell if there's some schmutz on here. Oh, no, that's what it was. You know, the guy did a polish on it, and I'd say he did a pretty good job. But I can see a couple of spots. I don't know. Maybe there was just a bit of time in between when he polished it and when it made its way into the case. I'm trying to look for like blemishes that are like factory blemishes. Looking along the binding, seeing how tight everything seems to be put together. Again, like, this is very cheap for a signature guitar. Everything looks really good. Strap buttons, kind of large, which is nice. Pickups and pickup covers look good. Everything's real shiny, everything's well put together. The rise on the bridge is, like I said, kind of drastic. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Well, now I want to get a pickup, or sorry, a pick, to give it a strum. How do I not have a pick right here? That's okay. We just kind of do this. It's not in tune, but it has sat for a couple of days, like I said. It's mostly in tune. It's like, well, it's fine. You know, I will tune it, obviously. Man, I gotta say, like the finish, the binding, just like the choices that were made. I love these inlays. I mean, how cool are those? I like the block inlays that are on my Solo too. And I like the kind of like, what are they, trapezoid inlays that they usually do on Gibsons and some of the Epiphones, but I don't know, these are more interesting and not too flashy, right? And like the color of this in person, it looks pretty blue, but it's not what I would call Pelham blue, right? Like Pelham blue is, you think of a slightly more blue. Oh, I forgot about the binding that goes around these diamond cutouts, which is another cool feature about this guitar, because like, you know, the 335s usually have the F-hole cutouts. I always thought they were a little pretentious looking for my sake, my case anyway. Like, it looks like an orchestral instrument. I'm not an orchestra player. I don't want to pretend like I'm in a jazz band. But those say rock. Come on. That just looks so fucking cool. Man, these knobs are firm. They kind of make an audible swish when you turn them. I hope the electronics don't hear that. That's, I don't know. Also might just be something a little contact solution will take care of. But like I said, I think everything looks really great. I hope I never have to do any work on this, because I wouldn't know where the hell to start. I'd have to take it somewhere. Just because, like, there's no access panels. It's just all, everything is just done through these holes, I guess. God, I wouldn't want to be that guy. Unless you were paying me, I guess. If I was a guitar tech, I guess I'd do it. But yeah, like, this thing's out of tune. Oh. Well, hey, that's the overall thing. I think I'd have to say the overall fit and finish of this, surprisingly good. The setup from Sweetwater, well, we'll have to see when I actually plug it in, do a demo of the sound of it. I want to get an idea of like how it sounds, if there's any buzzing, you know. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any buzzing, but it also feels like maybe some of the strings could be taken down a little bit, like this bridge could be adjusted a bit. So I'm gonna have to do that, play it, tune it, obviously, and you know, set it up for a demo and let you guys hear it. You guys can also see my new pedal board, or I should say what additions I've made to my pedal board over the years. This has got a Laurel fretboard, from what I understand. Doesn't look that different from Rosewood, in my opinion. I know a lot of people complain about Laurel. Maybe the grain is a bit more defined than on a Rosewood, in like sort of a sketching way, but like hold it like that, I can't tell the difference. Maybe other fretboards you can, I can't with this. But yeah, I'll probably put thicker strings on it. I generally play with 11s. I think that's what's on my solo too right now. And then of course I might have to make adjustments in other places when I do that. I think the nut will be able to accommodate a slightly larger string, but I'm not going to be able to go very thick with them. 11s is probably as far as I can push it. I remember on my Hellraiser, I actually had to modify the nut a tiny bit in order to accommodate 12s when I was playing in drop B. It might still have 12s on it, I don't remember. This thing feels really good. It's got, like I said, the frets are not scratchy on the outsides. They look fairly shiny. They don't have like the most polished finish. I mean, you can see the light coming off of them. And like, profile guitar is wide, but it's very light because it's, you know, semi-hollow. So the wood on the inside's unfinished, and it looks very bright through there. So depending on how like the light catches it, see straight through there. And I think that look really catches your eye. It looks really cool. I don't know. I'm excited. Can't wait to play it for you guys. Again, thanks, honey. It's a great birthday gift. Yeah, I don't know. Stop by the channel again so you can see the demo. Peace.